You're watching Let's with Ayuma.
Hey, I'm Ayuma Michelle and welcome to Let's with Ayuma. This is an online safe space that I started to empower progressive women from all around the world, just like you and I, to thrive with purpose, okay? So welcome. Today, we're going to talk about how to center yourself when you feel lost. How to center yourself when you feel lost. But you know what time it is? Before we go any further or deep dive into this topic, you know what time it is. Please, if you've been enjoying my content, okay, this far, if you've been enjoying my content and you're yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing. Join this online community so that you don't have to look for me in the YouTube streets. Please subscribe so that you can just keep following up on my content without struggling too much. Also, welcome to the new subscribers. If you enjoyed my videos, please comment below, and in fact I have a survey that's ongoing. Please fill in the survey and let me know, like, what has your experience been like if you've subscribed so far and you've enjoyed my content. But also, if you're new and you've just discovered my content and you're already loving it, please share with me some of your feedback on the form below so that I can know what value looks like from this channel, okay? And please, because we are women of abundance, if you do enjoy my videos, please watch this video and watch another one if you're new to this channel, and invite a friend to watch this video if you do feel like it has something to offer her. Please ensure that as you're rising, the women around you are also rising. So please share it with a friend, and I hope that they too will become subscribers, okay? And we'll get to grow together on this journey, okay? Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how to center yourself when feeling lost. But before we go there, I just want to say thank you so much for those of you who've been sharing with me amazing feedback. You know, I took a break for a while, as I'd mentioned on a video, I don't know whether it was last year or earlier this year, that I'm more focused on producing evergreen content. So instead of just producing content just because I need to release a YouTube video, I want to produce content that I know is wholesome, is meaningful, and not because I feel like I am forced to, right? Because I want it to be authentic and I want it to come from real lessons that I'm learning and, you know, share with you so that you too can actually grow on your journey. And also, I took a break because I realized that I hadn't taken a break, you know, the whole three months. The first 3 months of the year, there are these little breaks I would take, but I didn't give myself leave. So I noticed that kids were on holiday here in Kenya. Even my own coach went on holiday. And then I reached a point where I was like, yo, I haven't taken a break. Why is everyone on break and I'm not? So I just decided, you know what? Let me give myself a full week break. Nothing, no YouTube, no nothing. Let me just focus on me. Let me reflect and prepare for the next quarter. And so I got beautiful rest. Last week I shared a survey which I would love you ladies to really help me out with, because it will help me know what does next level look like for our channel. What does it look like for this channel? What kind of content would you like me to explore so that I can churn out more and more in a way that benefits us both? Because I have a wealth of information, wealth of networks, but I wouldn't know which direction to take if you ladies don't lead me. So please do consider going to my description box and fill in the survey. It's very short, less than 5 minutes. And basically you're sharing with me your feedback about the value you've gotten from this channel, improvements I could make, but also your secret wishes, some special wishes that you do have, which you'd like me to explore on your behalf so that you can experience even more value on my channel, okay? So thank you so much for journeying with me. I don't take it for granted. For me, I churn out content as if I'm churning it for one person, because as long as I'm making a difference in one woman's life, I mean, this channel is serving its purpose, okay? And also the reason why, we are now getting into story time, okay? Story time! The reason why I chose this particular topic today, how to center yourself when feeling lost, is because I have been noticing, I'm very intuitive, which is one thing I've become so grateful for, not only as an entrepreneur, but also as a creative working with global women leaders is that I sense things. I'm very sensitive to feelings and to things, right? So I have been sensing that many people are burnt out. Yes, burnt out. We are just entering into the 4th month of the year, but people are burnt out. But I'd like to remind you, like on the video that I did, I'll link it above, that many of us, we have been through this global pandemic for the very first time, and many of us are in fight or flight mode. And so we have been navigating this thing for like now this is the 3rd year, and many of us have been going and going and going, and something inside us is just genuinely tired, you know, because when you're in the middle of uncertainty for a prolonged period of time, it causes fight or flight. And so you might want to watch that video so that you can learn the background of all that. And it's inspired by some people who've actually studied human behavior and stuff like that, and who are explaining why we are feeling this way. So if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling lost, and you just need to center yourself so that you can actually go to Q2 well, you know, we're not even looking at the rest of the year. We're just looking at the next 3 months, okay? So that, and that's another reason why people burn out very quickly. They overwhelm themselves with an annual goal instead of breaking down that annual goal into quarters or monthly goals. And then those monthly goals or quarterly goals can be broken down into weekly tasks, okay? Take each day at a time. But if at all you're at that place, I totally feel you. I was there actually sometime last year. I felt so lost. I felt lost in my own life. I felt lost in my own business. I was in a place where I was experiencing lots of panic attacks. I would literally be crying randomly. I found myself crying. I take pride in the fact that I'm an emotional being and in my emotions, because that's actually part of the beauty and part of my superpower as a coach who works with women, is that I tap into, and also as a marketer and as a branding coach, I easily tap into people's emotions because I too am emotional, so I understand that language. But it had gotten too far last year, to a point where I found myself just melting down. When I'm in bed going to sleep, I find myself breaking down and crying. When I wake up, I find myself looking at the ceiling, breaking down and crying. I find myself taking a shower, break down and crying. And I remember I would have all these, I used to be crippled by these anxious thoughts about my future, because I don't know why, just things have been so disrupted. That before there used to be sort of like a gradual way of seeing, okay, I'd probably be here, I can probably plan and be here in the next whatever. But now I've scrapped away those 10-year plans, those 5-year plans, because at this point you can put your eggs in so many things like those 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plans, and then something like this pandemic happens and scraps it all off, which means you need to start from scratch, or you need to pivot all of your plans. So that's why I'm learning how to take each day at a time. I'm training myself to practice presence. I'm also training myself to practice patience, something that I really struggle with sometimes. And I'm learning how to center myself. But because I know I can be a type A person, and I love, I like crushing goals. I like setting something up for myself. I like setting goals and I love achieving them. I love how fulfilling it feels when I achieve my goals. I love how meaningful I feel that my impact in people's lives is, especially through my work, because for the first time in my life, I can actually say I'm doing what I love, and I love it, But at the same time, I'm an entrepreneur, meaning that I'm the one who sets the standard. I'm the one who sets the standard of success. I'm the one who sets the standard of productivity. There's no one waking me up and telling me what to do. I'm the one who's setting up these standards most of the time. So the pressure can really, really get strong, especially during this time, because no one knows, not so many people are sharing how exactly they are managing to navigate this season. Not many people are sharing that they're struggling. Not many people are sharing that they're second guessing themselves and even their journeys, even their purposes. Many people are asking, or rather from my entrepreneurship circles, people are like, is entrepreneurship for me? should I go into employment? What exactly is this mess that I am in? And I've been hearing it a lot, even on YouTube when I watch some social media influencers who've been in the game for quite some time. I have been watching some of their, because I understand language. Their language is, I am stuck, I'm feeling sort of lost, and I am just going, taking it as a day as it comes. But I've been feeling like many people have been overwhelmed. They've been struggling with strife. They've been struggling with a sense of feeling lost. And especially because we are in this season of uncertainty, like COVID we are now in a place where we are mitigating COVID. And then again, the whole Ukraine thing happened. And then now we are dealing with this fuel crisis that's all over the world, which is crazy, right? So it seems as though, when will this thing just end? And when will we get to a point where we can be able to make some predictable plans? When we can make some decisions based on something that could be predictable, because we are working a lot. It feels like we are playing a game of, I don't know which kind of game that deals with chances or probabilities. It feels like we're doing Monopoly, playing Monopoly with life, which, life is not a game. These are people's livelihoods, and I totally understand the overwhelm, and I've been there. But when you're stuck in your own head, especially as a leader, and when you feel like there's so much burden that's upon you, one thing that has always worked for me to get over myself, but also to help me do what I need to do, because work needs to be done. Yes, I am feeling this way. Yes, I'm feeling overwhelmed. But at the end of the day, there's the pragmatic part of life where I need to serve people, I need to earn, I need to save, I need to pay my bills, I need to support the people I've committed to support. There's all of that stuff. But also, I need to also prove to myself that I can do this, that I can get through this, that I cannot just give up, I want to prove to myself that, Ayuma, you can do this. If you are in that state of mind, just know that sometimes, not even sometimes, it does take a tribe to raise a leader. And because it takes a tribe, the thing that really helped me get out of that rut that I was stuck in and to get over myself, because it was very easy to throw a pity party and to be like, things are hard, and to listen to the lots of narratives like in the news and other people that maybe have given up. It was very easy to go into that. So what I ended up doing is that I ended up going into the very same strategy that I teach my women leaders, the women leaders that I coach through feminine leadership coaching, is that I ended up creating my own personal boardroom to navigate this pandemic, to navigate my business during the pandemic. I really needed to get down and, number one, ask for help. Realize, from whom am I going to ask this help from? I needed to come up with a strategy of who will be in this personal boardroom. It won't just be me, but who can, creating sort of like a win-win-win scenario between me and these people who are in my personal boardroom. And to be honest, and some of those people include my business coach, some of those people include, a certain fitness program that I enrolled in. Also, it includes my therapist. It also includes some of my close friends who are also entrepreneurs. So I learned that, by the way, you actually need people around you who believe in you either equally or more to get you out of this state. And that's what these are people, I call them your personal boardroom, who are going to, because they believe in you more than yourself or equally, they will constantly remind you of the person that you are. They will constantly remind you of abundance. They will also keep you going. They will push you. They will encourage you, and they will lift you up to the state of flyness or the state of awesomeness, that you're supposed to be in, okay? Because sometimes we need people to speak to us out of the level of respect and honor of the amazing people that we are. Leaders, I look at it like, when you watch a game or something like a boxing match or something of the sort, even what I do as a coach is that I normally tell my clients that I'm here working with you, partnering with you on behalf of your future best self. The one who's a high achiever, the one who's more successful, the one who earns more, the one who has some kind of, she has a grip on her life, she knows where her life is going, whether or not whatever is happening external, but she is committed to herself and she's not letting go of her dream. That's who I commit to. So I needed to also create a personal boardroom of people who are committed to a higher level of myself. A higher level of myself, one who's healthy, one who's fit, one who is in charge, taking charge of her business, one who's charging more, one who's earning more, one who's feeling more fulfilled, one who's having a higher impact, one who's happier, and feeling more full, in life. So those are the kind of people that I needed to speak with, and I ended up creating a personal boardroom. So there's a reason why I share this with you, because many people, it's very easy, especially right now in my country, Kenya. We're preparing for an election, which is another thing. So there was COVID, and then now there is the fuel issue, and then there's now the preparation for an election, which is affecting many businesses, because many investors during election years in my country tend to withdraw, and also many corporates tend to hold on to, or businesses tend to hold on to their money. Even many consumers tend to hold on to their money just in case, so that they can spend their money on essentials, right? And so it's very easy to give up and go into, oh my gosh, these are the reasons, the news said this, the government says this, or WHO says this, or World Economics says this. But at the end of the day, you will need higher voices than that, because it's very easy to get into that place where you're just listening to excuses. In business, yes, those are called excuses, because as business owners, we are constantly thinking of problem solving. How can we solve these problems regardless? Like, that's the word, regardless. How can I still wake up and serve? Regardless. How can I still wake up and help people and empower them on their journeys? Regardless. How can I still earn and sustain my living, like sustain my business during this time? Regardless. How can I stay healthy, well, and fit and strong, regardless. So those are the people who've been keeping me accountable, and you too could learn how to do this, So the danger of this is that if you stay too long in that space, yes, acknowledge what's happening around you, but if you stay too long in that state, which I'd told you ladies that I was in, I noticed there was a point when I started waking up and feeling so uninspired. I struggled to even get out of bed sometimes, and then I ended up comparing my life with lots of people, because I work a lot online. Obviously, I get to see people's lives, people flying, people do all sorts of things, and so I would end up comparing myself with them, and already I'm not feeling good, so it just makes me feel even worse, And those people, I don't know how they're living, I don't know how they're getting that money, I don't know how they're sustaining themselves, I don't know what kind of deals they've gotten themselves into, And also, maybe they've been struggling for long and finally this is their break. So how dare I compare myself with their journeys? And how dare anyone else compare themselves with my life without knowing how long some of my seasons of wait have been, or without knowing the kind of sacrifices I've made, or the kind of circumstances that I've had to face, to get to where I'm at, So it's very dangerous if you stay too long in that space. Also, it made me look at all I had not achieved. Like, I had a longer list of all the things that I am not, all the things I have not achieved, all of the things I haven't yet, gotten to. Because, the reality is of course there are dreams that I have, and of course there are things that I had thought that by this time in my life or age I would have achieved, or there's a certain state of life or being that I would be in at this point. But obviously some of those things have not yet matured. You see, it took me a lot of strength to realize that I can say yet, because it's not really about age, it's about when I'm ready and when I'm mature enough to handle the things that I desire and that I pray for. So it took me strength to actually and these accountability partners, this tribe that I created, this boardroom that I created to help me realize that there's a yet. It's not a no. For some of those things, obviously there were no's, but for some things it was yet. So realize that at some point I started looking at, when I stayed too long in that space, I started focusing too much on what I had not achieved, all that I am not, all that I have not yet done. And it's crazy. Instead of focusing on all that I have done regardless, all that I've been able to achieve, who I have become, and all that I am right now, So definitely, I rested my mind in a cage of limitation, which is dangerous. You can never grow anything from a place of limitation. Limitation is something that just eats at anything you have, any little shine that you have in your life or glimmer of hope. It eats it up and says, no, life is unfair, life is XYZ. And those were the stories that just kept on running in my mind, the rumination, and which caused anxiety. And so I'm so glad that I caught myself from spiraling down. It's very easy to spiral down, especially if you are isolating yourself, especially as a business owner, but also as a vision bearer and human being, just as a human being who we've been created to be communal. So if you've been isolating yourself, it's very easy to spiral down, but I am so grateful that I caught myself. And because I caught myself, I tapped into one of my strengths, which is I'm a connector. I'm a strong connector. So normally I connect people with opportunities and I connect people with each other, but this time round I needed to use some of that sugar on myself. I needed to use some of that magic on myself. So I said, okay, who is in my network who I can invite to be part of my boardroom so that they can connect me with my next best self, so that they can keep me accountable. But also I needed to be very clear about who is my next best self. Who is she? Where does she want to go? How much money is she earning? How does she look? What is her fitness level like? And all of that stuff. What is a spiritual life like? What is a state of being? How does she feel about herself? What are her clients saying about her? The people she's having an impact in their lives with, what kind of things do they say about the experience? I needed to be very clear about that, to explain this is where I'd like to be, so that these amazing people can level me up and they can keep me accountable at that level. So I also remembered something that another mentor that I had years back when I was in entrepreneurship school. She told me that, whenever you feel lost in your own life, in your own self, and in your own business or dream, remember that you are right where you need to be. And it is not permanent. You are right where you need to be to get to the next step. Once I started being present, I started focusing on today. What can I do today? What can I focus on this week to get me to that amazing Ayuma that I know I can be, Also, she said this in another panel discussion, which I found it to be such a beautiful gift. She said that you have been fully resourced for what's ahead of you. You have been fully resourced for what is ahead of you. So knowing that I am here, I'm right where I need to be, so that I can be fully resourced for what's ahead of me. So I do not need to fear. I need to know that this person that I am right now has been fully resourced to face this day, to face this week, to face this season, and to trust in myself, but also trust that there's always people around me who, to be honest, they desire me to win. And so these people helped me tap into getting into a space of abundance, belief, possibility, confidence. And I'm so grateful that they helped me rebuild my confidence, because to be honest, that's what was suffering. When I'm not feeling confident, oh my goodness, it's crazy. And confidence is a skill. It's not a thing that you're born with. Confidence is a skill that needs to be built. And when you reach a point where you lack the capacity to build it in a certain area of your life, then invite your personal boardroom of people who have that level of confidence in that area of life to speak life to you, and also to elevate you into a place of awareness, of knowledge, and of wisdom and experience, so that it can now become a new normal to you, whereas before it was a place of ignorance or inexperience. Okay, so yes, I created a personal boardroom. And basically, this is a personal accountability system of people who are committed to help you win in various areas of your life. They help you reimagine, they help you rebuild, they help you revision your life, your situation, your circumstance, your business, your health, your wealth, everything. And so there's a strategy. There's a strategy behind this, There's a strategy on how to create one. As I said, this is a strategy that I actually teach the women leaders that I work with. And if you're interested in learning this strategy, especially to empower you on your current leadership as a woman, please reach out to me at info@letsfindyourstory.com, and I'd be more than happy to have a complimentary 45-minute discovery call to figure out what exactly is the current challenge you're facing, to deeply understand what the challenge is, so that I can tell you, am I the right coach for you? But also you'll get to learn how my coaching process works, and then I can give you all the details that you need about what that project would look like, a feminine leadership coaching project would look like, okay? This is something that has not only worked for my clients, but it's also worked for me. As you can see, the fact that I'm able to put up this video, if you even go on my social media, the kind of things I've been able to achieve in the first 3 months of this year, it's quite exceptional and extraordinary. And I'm so proud of myself, because I caught myself from spiraling down, and I was able to reach out to people who know better than me, and they were able to believe in myself even more and help keep me accountable to the higher version of myself. And that's, to be honest, where I am right now. I am not here because of my own strength. Also, I'm a very prayerful woman. As I like to say, God is the CEO of my business. I pray over things. Before I make decisions, God is the CEO of my business, and He truly gives me guidance on where I need to go. So about my future, I do not know about my future, and I release that into my future. I have dreams, I have desires, but I do not have control of that future. I only have control of my present and what I can do now. And I'm so grateful for that I can depend on not only my God to help me drive this business and to create and offer my life, but also this amazing personal boardroom that's keeping me, accountable to my higher version of myself. And little by little, I'm actually becoming that higher level Ayuma that I never thought I'd become. But here I am, becoming her day by day, moment by moment, present by present. Okay? So please let me know, how does this sound? Do you have a personal boardroom? Have you heard of this concept before? Please comment below and let me know. And if you're interested in building your own personal boardroom and learning how to do that, please reach out to me at info@letsfindyourstory.com. I'd be more than happy to help you figure out specifically for your journey the right personal boardroom to create, the right people to reach out to, okay, to build your higher self, okay? So remember, this is Let's with Ayuma, an online safe space that I created to empower progressive women from all around the world to thrive with purpose. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.